Hello guys, I'm Adar and in this video I will teach you loops. So we use loops when we want to run our code over and over again. So if we have a piece of code and we want to run it multiple times, so we use loops. So there are two types of loops. One is a for loop and the other is while loop. So this is the syntax of a for loop in Python. We use a keyword for loop, and after that we define a variable, and after that we have a list of numbers. So we have range. So what does range do? Range gave us a list of numbers and our code will run to the length of that list. For example, if the list contain 1 2 3 4 5, so our code will run 5 times. If the list have 1 to 10 numbers, so our code will run 10 times. And after that we have a colon, and when we press enter in the new line, we have our code which will run for multiple times in this for loop. So now this is our example. We have a variable I, and we have a range 0 to 5, which means that it will generate a list of 0 1 2 3 and 4. So after that we have a colon, and after colon we have a function print, and we will print the variable I. So now let's see the output. So it will print 0 1 2 3 and 4. So we have written a single line of code, that is print I, and it has generated us for 5 lines of output, which is 0 1 2 3 and 4. So and this way the for loop is used to run our code over and over again. So now we have while loop. In the while loop we use a keyword while, and after that we have condition. When that condition is true, the code in the while loop will run, but when the condition is false, the code will not run. And after the condition we have a colon, and after colon we will begin new line with some space like here, and we will write our code after that. So now let's see the example. We have a variable I is equal to 0 here, and we have written a keyword while for while loop. We have initiated our while loop, and the condition is when I is less than 5, the following code, this one, print I and I plus equal to 1, will run. So it will run once, and the value of I will be 0 plus 1, which means that it will be 1. It will run again, and the value of I will be 2. It will run again, and the value of I will be 3. It will run again, and the value of I will be 4. But after 4, when the value of I is 5, it will not run, and it will end. So our output will be like this. It will print 0, and the value of I will be 1. It will print 1, and then the value of I will be 2. It will print 2, and then the value of I will be 3. It will print 3, and then the value of I will be 4. It will print 4, and it will end. So I have a task for you, and this is a task. You will have to write a code in which you will ask a user to enter a number. So I have written an example here. How will you ask a user to enter a number? For example, a is a variable. It is equal to input, and this is the string. After that you will close these brackets. I have forgot, but you will close these brackets. So this is the syntax how to get input from the user, and then you will have to print the table of that number, as here it is written in the example. If the input is 2, so print 2 times of 1 is equal to 2, 2 times of 2 is equal to 4. So here you will have to write a table from 1 to 10. like this, 2 times of 1, 2 times of 2, 2 times of 3, 2 times of 4 for every number which the user enters. So it is a very simple task. You can use for loop for this. It is a hint for you. So now let's move into our code editor and write some code. So here in our code editor, I will write the same code. I will use a keyword for, and after that I will make a variable, for example any variable I, and I will then write n, and then range. I will use range function, and what will it do? I will create a list of numbers from 0 to 5, and then I will add a colon, and after that now I will write the body of the code which I want to run for 5 times. So what will I do? I will write print I. So now let's see the output. So here, as you can see, it has printed on the screen 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the value of I is increasing by 1 each time, and it is printing the value of I each time. So it was about this. Let's try another example. So this was the example of for loop which has printed the value of I, and we have used a single line of code, that is print I, and it has repeatedly increased the value by 1 as it is in the list we have generated here by the range function, and again after that it has printed the value. So for and while loops are used to shorten our code. If we write this, the output will be same. I will write it in a different way and the output will be same, but that way will be lengthy. Let's see. For example, I have to print these 5 numbers 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 in a simple way. So what will I do? I will print 1. So here let's see the output. The output is same, as you can see. Now after this code I will write only 2 lines of code using for loop, for I and range 0, 5 colon print I. These 2 lines will perform same as these 5 lines of code. As you can see here, this is the output of these 5 lines, and this is the output of these 2 lines. So loops are very helpful in every programming language. So now let's move into our while loop. I will create a loop by using a keyword while, and here I will use a condition. For example, I will first make a variable I is equal to 0, and then I will say if I is less than 5 print I. So now let's see the output. So it is generating 0, 0, 0 as I is less than 5, I is 0, so it is giving output 0. As I haven't defined the increment, so I will increase the I by 1 each time the loop runs. So let's see now. As you can see here, it has printed us 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So this is a simple example of a while loop. So now if we have another example, for example we have I is equal to 6 and we we want to print I when I is greater than 5. So the code will run once when we decrease the value of I each time by 1. So let's see. So as you can see, it has only printed 6 because the initial value of I is 6, and we have in the condition that when I is greater than 5, print I and then decrease the value of I by 1. So when the value of I is decreased by 1, now the value of I is 5, which is not greater than 5, so the loop is ended here. So now let's try another example. I will set the value of I to 0, and here I will write when the value of I is less than or equal to, when the value of I is less than or equal to 10, print the value of I and then increase the value of I by 1 each time. So after that I will use a code of line which will tell us that the loop is now ended. So I will write here the loop is ended. So when the loop ends, the condition here fails, so it will print this line, the loop is ended. So now let's see. Here as you can see, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the value of I is increasing by 1 each time up to 10, and after that when the value of I is greater than 10, it has ended the loop and it's printed the loop is ended. So we can use here different operators. For example, we can use OR here, or for example I have an j is equal to 1, right, and I will use j is less than 1. For example, I am using a condition if j is less than 1. So if one of the condition and these two is satisfied, it will run this code. If not, it will again run this. Let's see. As this condition is satisfied, it has run the code. Now if I change this to greater than 10, let's see the output. As you can see, it hasn't printed anything, it hasn't run this code because the condition is not satisfied. Here both the conditions, j is less than 1 is not satisfied, again I is greater than or equal to 10 is not satisfied, so it hasn't run this code, so it run this code. So now if I make this condition satisfied by writing like this, if j is equal to 1, print this code. So let's see, this condition is not satisfied, this one is not satisfied, and this one is satisfied. So let's see. So we will use 2 equals for equality. So as you can see, the value of j is not increasing by 1 each time, so it is printing I over and over again. As I is increasing by 1 each time, and it is printing I over and over again. So now let's stop this. Here we have a lot of values. So in this way our code, our while loop and for loop work. I hope that you will have liked this video. If you like this, so hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel so that you get notified whenever I upload a new video.